So today what I'd like to do is go over what I've done so far for my build. Now as you see, it's far from being complete. I'm at 105. What I've done so far is put on the Hail of Veriglass, regular armor of concussive strikes. I've put on Flame Weaver because I didn't find a better pair of gloves. I've got Juggernauts on the pants. I've got Yen's Blessing. This is really for the resource gen, but it helps overall into the build. But I'll be as the build progresses, I'll be moving away from that and putting on a pair of regular boots with Evade reduces the cooldown. So I have Serpentine on the two-hander. Not perfect. I'm considering moving away from the crit strike damage to resource. Lucky Hit gives you resource. The Ophidian Iris, which is massive to this build. None of these are GAs yet, but if I was going to have a GA, it'd probably be first Primordial Binding, then Intel and attack speed. And get as much as you can onto the 3 heads. You would have had the Hydra instead, it goes larger and deals. I have 95, but if you can get 100, that's better. Then I have a normal ring. I have luckily I've got an attack speed on here, Intel and max life, but this will be changing to which one? The Ring of Starless Skies when I start farming for them. Then you got Tal Rasha here, and same as in last season. Casting a Pyromancy should be as high as you can get, 25% if possible. Then the GA cooldown reduction is number 1. Right now I would say probably number 2 is Potent Warding, then non-physical and Lucky Hit. So that's a general idea of where we are at the moment. It's still got a lot of work to do, but none of this is masterworked, and we can already go into Torment 2. So if we come into the skill tree, 2 into Firebolt just to open it up into the core skills, then 1 into Fireball, Enhanced and Greater Fireball, because it can instantly kill them. Then I've got nothing into Potent Warding, it came from the ring. Then 2 into Elemental Dominance. Coming down into the defensives, Teleport, Enhanced, then Shimmering to give the damage reduction. I've put 3 into Elemental Attunement, 1 into Energy Focus to open up the Dampen Layer, which gives damage reduction when you've got a barrier, and you're going to have a barrier up pretty much all of the time. 3 into Glass Cannon, 1 into Ice Armor, Enhanced, and down into Shimmering Ice Armor. The Ice Armor here is, for me, is a lot of the time is to give you mana regeneration. Mana regeneration is extremely important this season. Coming down into the conjuration skills, the number 1 and the only is the Hydra. Enhanced, and I actually will take it away from there and put it into the invoked, because what you want is increased crit strike chance and crit strike damage. If you're in a dot build, you probably want to keep it on the Roaring Hydra. Then I've got 1 into Familiar, Enhanced Familiar, and down into Invoked Familiar. 1 into Align the Elements for damage reduction, and then Protection using a cooldown grants 30%, and you're using a cooldown all the time. of your max life as a barrier for 3 seconds, so that's why your barrier is going to be up pretty much all of the time. Did I go through this? Critical strikes have 21% chance to reset the cooldowns of one of your defensive. If I didn't, I have now. And then I put 1 point into Icy Veil. Your barriers have an 8% increased duration, just to make sure my barrier is up pretty much 100% of the time. Then from the mastery skills, we've also got Inner Flames, which increases damage while you're healthy, and because of the barriers, will be healthy pretty much all of the time. There are no other defensive skills on here. No other mastery skills, I should say. Then we've got 3 into Permafrost, which increases your damage when you got a Frost skill, and because we've got Ice Armor, that's a Frost skill, so you'll always have that up. Then I've got 1 rank into Inferno, Prime Inferno and Supreme Inferno. This is especially to get the bosses down quickly. I found without this, the bosses still get down, but this will be quicker. Then we've got 3 into Fiery Surge, mana regen, 3 into Endless Pyre, burning damage, 3 into Warmth, you heal, 3 into Soulfire, 12% loss, mana, 6% increase, double these if you're standing still for 2 seconds. Relatively easy to stand still for a couple of seconds. But saying that, when you're doing a perma, you'll not get this double bonus. Then I've got 3 into Elemental Synergies and 3 into Evocation, cooldown reduction, and that's skills. And then I've into Essu's Ferocity. Crit strike chance equals 40% against people that are enemies that are below 50% and 75% above. So getting your crit strike chance up to 100% is relatively easy. You got 40, 20, that's 50% already. Now coming into the Paragon board, if I've started off now, and again this is a work in progress. As you can see, I don't have everything done, not even close to it, but I'll give you my thinking on this. The starter board, I've got Eliminator, which gives me increased damage to elites and normal nodes all around, so everything is 30% increase. What I've focused on is getting the actual boards active first. Some other people disagree, but this is how I've done it. So I've made my way to all the boards, and I'll go through the boards to begin with. So the first is a starter board with the Eliminator. Then the second board is Searing Heat, and I've put in Pyromaniac, which is fire, crit strike damage and intelligence. Then the next board I'm going into Enchantment Master with Imbiber. Now I may change this. This is just how I went at the beginning. Then into the fourth board is Elemental Summoner with Destruction. And the last board I've came down from Enchantment Master into Fundamental Release, which gives Vulnerable or Crit Strike an enemy. They take increased damage up to 50% of your ultimate skill damage. And again, I may change this board as the last one. I'm not entirely sure that this is going to be working as I want it to work, but in here I've put Conjurer, which gives me an extra 15% increased crit strike, crit hit chance. So to get your crit chance up and running is relatively easy when you get all your paragons up and running. You have another 15% increase here when I work my way up to there. So altogether, your crit strike, the last 10% of your crit strike will come from dex. Right now it's 6.3, and any gear that you've got a crit strike chance on, like Ring of Starless when you get it up and running. So that's where we are right now. Just starting on, right now I'm on 105, and it's been relatively easy to get to Torment 2. No masterworking. So I'm feeling reasonably happy with this build so far, but it is a work in progress. I hope you've liked this, so please give me a like, and we'll see you on the live stream. Bye for now.